to What the F.A.Q. Season 3, Episode 4.
Yep, Quattro.
Yes, I'm here with
Dylan.
My name's Ike, if you don't know.
This is
Weekly. Ziggy's down here. I don't know if you can see him. You might be able to see in a year or two. Weekly question and answer show. You ask us a question, we give you the answer. And that's it. Right?
That's the gist of it, yeah.
Right. All right. So we're going to jump in. First question right out the gate.
From Mr. Greg Block from Shred
Ain't Dead. Cool YouTube channel. Go check out Greg, friend of ours. Helps us with some videos. You've probably seen it if you're a subscriber. Also, thanks to all the new subscribers that have come from like the Metalhead Hippie Show.
Yes. Yeah,
we appreciate it. Hopefully you guys stick around and aren't like these guys are a bunch of duds.
Well, hopefully the new video. We've had a fair amount of good new videos to hopefully entice some people.
Put out our Demogorgon, our exclusive Demogorgon Deluxe.
Mm-hmm.
This week we also got the our Reverend exclusive that's out there, and the Astral Destiny from Earthquakers is out too.
Was you actually playing on that one? I almost, if it was stereo, I almost sold myself on that one.
Really?
Yeah, because it was in terms of octave reverbs, it was far more interesting than what's out there. It's always something, like it's either the phone or the doorbell or Nico on the back or whatever it is. Yeah.
That's it. We do these Saturday morning. Yeah. Well, we've been doing them Saturday mornings because we can't figure out when to do them during the week. That kind of coordinates. But
right.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully they heard that and they answered the door. Anyway. All right. So first question comes from Greg, Shred Ain't Dead. Favorite compressor pedal? So I'm going to go first because I've got an easy answer.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't really use a lot of compressors, but the one I do know that I like, well, there's two of them.
Oh, okay.
So one is probably the Keeley compressor, the 4-knob compressor.
Yeah. That one's kind of become a standard setting.
Yeah. And I don't really use a lot of compressors. And then that one, or the Warden from...
Oh, well, yeah, I was going to say,
that was my pick. I didn't steal your thunder.
Oh, no, sorry,
Didn't mean to steal your thunder, lad.
But yeah, the Warden by far is my favorite. It's if you want one that doesn't have, like, you're going to feel it more than you hear it, that's what the Warden is good at. Like, because we kind of had this debate with a customer the other day, and his interpretation of compressors was adding sustain, not actual compression. So he actually wanted drive out of it. So he ended up going with the SP. Whereas, like, the guy, like, literally right after him wanted the exact opposite. He wanted to feel the compression. He didn't want to hear it. So he went with the Warden. But yeah, I mean, I find... It
depends on what you're looking to do with it. The Squeegee's another good one from J Rocket.
Yeah, and I feel like that one's kind of in that Ross Dynacomp kind of family.
Yeah.
Like the
I'd
modern...
say it kind of goes, it's not too many knobs and buttons and such, but it's also a very good compressor.
Right. So well, I could be wrong. I think the Deep 6 is also sort of in that family.
Yeah.
Because you can get a little bit of drive out of that one too. Or a little bit more grit anyway, if you like that.
So there's a few.
Yeah.
You guys want to check those out?
Oh, the Pulp and Peel from JHS is another really cool one. That one actually has a dirt switch, so that one you can actually use as an overdrive too, which is pretty cool.
And that one's kind of based on the old Orange Squeezer.
Yes, yeah.
And you know the Orange Squeezer from Sultans of Swing.
Right.
Dire Straits.
That's the German.
Dire Straits.
Dire Straits. Some German cousins.
This is how it goes. Off the rails already. All right. Well, we went off the rails earlier before we even got asked the question.
Well, yeah. That's
all right. So next one.
That's what keeps them coming back.
We're leaving.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Droves of leaving this. All right.
And the tens of leaving. All right.
This morning.
Mr. Coombs, our preferred Canadian YouTuber.
Ben Coombs, check him out. Canucks with Guitars.
Yes. Yeah, and he's encroaching on that 3,000 mark. So if you haven't subscribed to him, go ahead, or please do, I should say. All right, Mr. Coombs asks, what is the first thing you do or upgrade when you or swap out on a guitar? Like when you buy a new guitar, what's the first thing you either upgrade or swap out?
So I don't do a lot of upgrading. It kind of depends. But I do, because most of my guitars have some type of upgrades. So first things first, what I would do, depending on what guitar it is and what I get, okay? Because it kind of depends on what model. I may do tuners if I feel the tuners aren't very stable.
Yes.
Like I have an old Telly Deluxe, and the tuners aren't very stable on it.
Okay, yeah.
So actually, I have a set of hip shots for that, and then I also have an old '72 Greco, which doesn't is another one, but the nut has been redone. So I know it's not a nut issue because Nick did it, so I know it's right. So I know it's got to be the tuners.
Okay.
So I'm gonna upgrade those as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the big one. I feel like if you're not gonna worry about like keeping it stock, then like
I usually don't because it's just a matter of these are tools that I like to use and I want them to do the thing I want them to do. So I don't.
Right.
I usually am not like I'm worried about the resale. But that being said, I will keep the original tuners in a bag.
Yes.
And I mark them and I put them in a drawer. And then if I do want to ever sell the guitar, what I'll do is I'll put that stuff back on so it is original.
And I think that should be like more or less common courtesy when it comes to guitars. If you can preserve the original parts, like I think it's nice to include that because like even on my Explorer, the guy I bought that from, like it was like 2 years later, but he ended up finding the original pickups that were in it, so he sent them to me. But it was like just something like that. Like I feel like that goes a long way, especially with certain instruments if you did want to get it back to stock.
Yeah, or you sell it the way it is and then just say, hey, I have the extra parts. Because I do have another Tele Deluxe, which I took off and I put in different pickups.
Oh, okay.
But I kept the original pickguard loaded. So, because I knew, I'm like, well, if I end up selling this someday, and I put that in a big Ziploc bag, and I'm like, well, if I end up selling it someday, I'll just put that pickguard back on. Yes, everything's back to original.
Easy swap.
And it's an easy swap, and it's good to go. But usually for me, it would be tuners if I need them. Nut is a big one.
Yeah.
Like if it has a plastic nut, I'd like to put a bone nut on there. It all depends. If things sound right, then I don't really care. Some guitars I've replaced the bridge on like my ASAT Classic.
Oh yeah.
I put a Schroeder bridge on it because I really like those and I like the aesthetic, but I also like the fact that it's a little bigger. So
yeah,
those are usually like hardware stuff, and then I'll go pickups after if I feel like I want something specific tone or quality.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say over the years, I think my opinions on this one have changed, but it's more from just working here and playing a lot of different guitars. Because I used to like the pickups were something I used to like mess with a ton, in terms of swapping out, and like now I feel like I've started to learn to appreciate like the differences in the pickups more than trying to make all of my guitars sound similar.
Exactly the same.
Yeah, because like I used to gravitate towards the same. Like I love the JB set from Seymour Duncan, so I used to gravitate towards that for a lot of things. Still do, but at the end of the day, like now I basically only have one guitar that has that in that instead of having 2 or 3. So
yeah, so you can get the tone out of that one thing.
Right.
That's kind of similar with me. I've been in a situation where I'm like, I really like P90s, but I don't want to put P90s in everything because then everything's going to kind of sound ish the same.
You kind of homogenize it by like not having any variance in there.
Yeah, because sometimes I want to play a Strat.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have that Stratty bit, or I want to have a pure humbuckery bit.
Right.
That's like, the PAF style humbuckers in it.
Right.
So I'm in a similar thing. Usually, so that's why for me it's kind of hardware for stability.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're gonna play a show or something, it's like, hey, I really love this guitar, but I got to tune it up all the time.
Yeah, no, it needs to work.
Yeah, that's fine at home because you can just kind of retune it.
Right.
But if you're playing, you're doing a show. You're like, man, this thing just goes out of tune every song.
Right.
Or halfway through a song, it's out of it jumps out.
Yeah,
it's just not going to be. You're not going to play that live.
Right. Well, yeah, because you're going to start to resent it more than love it because of those problems.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm fixing those.
Yeah, and I agree. Like those. Yeah, and that's something you do get out of experience too. Like those aren't things. Like I think initially, or at least out in the internet world, when everybody's just talking about shit, I feel like pickups are what everybody focuses on, but it is really like the stability, the function, the real functioning parts of the guitar that you should address first. Sometimes, at least with a lot of like cheaper guitars. Yeah. On the other hand though, there are a lot of guitar companies now that build things with the intention that you shouldn't need to upgrade that much of it. Because like I feel like Reverends and Charvels and like those come out. Yeah, those come out pretty much right out of the gate, ready to go. So. In terms of like good parts, good hardware.
Yeah, I haven't done any mods to my Reverends.
Yeah,
just because it's what I like. Everything that's already on it is what I would kind of put on it. So if I wanted to put on locking tuners, they're already on it.
Right. Yeah. If anything, you just get another one.
Yeah.
You just get a different one.
Yeah. Just get another guitar.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Yeah. So first and easiest way to upgrade a guitar is get another guitar.
Right. I could subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think Ben would agree.
All right, so moving on to Cullen James. Cullen James asks, what liquids should I try out in the mini bar pedal?
Yeah, we'd actually like to thank Colin James because he's been buying a bunch of cool stuff.
He got a Demogorgon Deluxe
and an
he
Astral.
got the Astral Dream. I think if you're going to try out a liquid in the mini bar pedal, I would go bourbon.
Bourbon?
Mm-hmm. A nice bourbon.
I'm going to choose a real nice, difficult one and go maple syrup.
Ooh, there's something. Well, that'd be like almost like that'd be like an oil can.
Yeah.
Type effect.
Yeah, you can only use it
oil
for
like
maybe like 5-6 minutes before it starts to get probably too chunky.
Well, the pedal would heat up a little bit. Maybe
that'd be kind of nice.
To keep the syrup nice and syrupy.
Yeah.
And if you call and talk to our preferred Canadian YouTuber, he's probably got a good line on maple syrup.
Yeah, and real Canadian maple syrup is much thinner than the garbage sugary shit that they try to serve us down here. So.
Well, what's cool is the guys from Rev sent me a care package for Christmas with a Canadian, a Canadian jersey. A hockey jersey. I guess
it might as well.
It's probably one of the same. But a hockey jersey, and then they sent me some sweets, and then they sent a little jar of Canadian maple syrup. And it's awesome. I drank that shit.
Yeah. Just like insert a pancake drink.
Right. Like it was delicious. I still got a little bit of it, but it was very delicious.
Nice.
So, I don't know. That's where I go.
Yeah. So I'll take the difficult one just because it's going to take forever to clean.
I go whiskey because then you could get angry. You get a little suburban, get after it and just get some angry riffs out of it. Yeah.
I wonder if it adds just like a hint of delay, just like a little, like if you add a little bit of bourbon, it just makes you just a little bit sloppy.
A little bit, talking weird shit.
Yeah. Start getting drunk through osmosis with your pedal.
It's been a long week. I can go for a bourbon.
There's a band name.
I can go for a whiskey drink.
Drunk through osmosis.
We could put that band together. Yeah. All right. So last question.
Yeah, this one's really just a discussion topic because everybody seems to be talking about it. So.
Oh, okay. The Walrus Audio new pedals. They got the R1, and then they got the new cab sim pedal.
Yeah, which is the ACS one, right?
Yeah. So it looks like the ACS one is kind of similar to, like an Iridium from Strymon. So it's going to be a cab sim pedal where you can just go right in, you plug into that. I think it has Fender-ish. It's got Vox.
Yeah, basically it's got like a black face, an AC, and then they actually went with more of like a 62 Blues Breaker for the Marshall one. That one I find interesting because I don't know why Nico took him up there, but anyway, sorry, Ziggy's barking up front. But anyway, I think the whole idea with this one is more of like a clean platform version of the Iridium, or at least that's the way I feel like it's the approach is coming across as like a clean platform version. Especially like in the demo video that they personally released, like I thought that was interesting because they did have everybody running through those, and then they were running all of the boards, so they had like their 385 overdrive in there, they had a Voyager in there, they had all these other Walrus pedals, so kind of makes sense that they would take more of the pedal platform approach rather than because that's the one thing like the Iridium has is that Marshall setting that is just to me like that is the best setting on there, at least for general purposes, at least for what I do anyway. And so like I would have a hard time not having that setting on there, but where I feel like the AC definitely beats it is that stereo option because you can run two different ones at the same time. Yeah, which is pretty cool.
I was watching a video this morning actually from Henning Pauly, so if you don't know who Henning is, check out his channel. I don't know, it's got a bunch of letters and shit. I don't know what the...
Just look for the dome.
Yeah, so Henning's got a pretty good video out. I think he put it out today, and he does a comparison between the Iridium. To me, it's like I don't think you go wrong with either one. Yeah. It's just going to be which one has a couple of the functions or flavors that you may prefer.
Yeah, like how much are you going to want to use, the stereo option, which, like I said, to be fair, is a really cool option. Like being able to have a Vox and a Fender at the same time, or a Vox and a Marshall. Yeah. Like that is a really sweet combo because having the Vox setting, that is one like I feel like kind of the I don't know, the one that people don't talk about as much on the Iridium is the AC setting because that one, in the right circumstances, is a pretty unique sound too. So,
the Iridium's a really cool pedal. I think all of us have one here, right? I think
pretty much. I'm still sort of like Jake's been okay because he's got an amp that'll basically go into his interface, so he hasn't really picked one up yet. But I think because he's pretty much sold on it from when we've done the streams and everything.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. So
Yeah.
check those out. And then the reverb, I mean, from what I've seen so far, seems like a really cool pedal as well.
Yeah.
We have them on order. We're just not going to probably get them. We're not going to probably get them on the first run because they sold out so fast through Walrus. And by the time I got my order in, they were already sold out.
Right.
So we were, I was a little late on the order.
Well, yeah, they seem to be doing certain numbers of runs now. So
like
that
initially, because I think what they do is they estimate what are we going to possibly sell. From what I understand, they estimated pretty high, and they just.
Well, I think they're pretty smart.
We missed out.
Though.
We missed out slightly.
Yeah.
On the first run.
Well, I think that's a good way that they do that, though, because at least it seems like Walrus does not overreach as often as some companies have. So that's one thing I appreciate about them is at least that they seem to be they're learning their market, but they're also learning like how to not get swamped.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're selling out, but they're not.
I wish we could just get a sneak peek of those things before they.
No, I agree.
Every
I wish we would have got
every YouTuber in the country.
No, I
with
agree.
any substantial amount of subs gets
Yeah.
all the cool stuff before.
Yeah.
Before the dealers, and we're the ones that kind of buy them, so it's kind of a weird.
No, I agree.
I understand marketing and everything, but sometimes it's like, yeah, but we actually buy them to sell them, and they just play with them.
Even just for product knowledge, like I wish we could get them to.
Yeah, just so we could do this kind of stuff, do a video on it too,
Right.
and have it released when those things.
Yeah, kind of like I said with the Astral. Even though like I only really had a day to do that one, it's like that was one that like is pretty amazing and is game changing, as I think this R1 is going to be. But it's like it would be nice to have more than a few days to mess with it before.
Maybe we gotta when we get to when we get big time.
Well, I was gonna say you guys can actually help us get to that point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. Seeing that there's commotion in the front.
Yeah, we should wrap it up.
Yeah. All right. So we appreciate you guys hanging out. Please subscribe if you're still here. If you're not subscribed, ring the bell. Let you know when we have demo videos coming out or any of that other stuff. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, check out the website if you need to buy some stuff.
Yes. Yeah, check out the Demogorgon and the Reverend that we put out this week. We put out demo videos too if you guys haven't caught those.
Yeah.
Demogorgon one, like I know MJ put a shit ton of time into that one, so it turned out really cool. So yeah, if you guys want to watch that one, it's cool. It's worth watching just for the intro alone. So
yeah, intro is cool.
Yeah.
And I'm playing my Texas Toast.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So
yeah.
If you want to check that guitar out. So I think that's it. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.